First of all, give me a little bit of your background. Tell me about Josh.
Started work at Cowboyton Hospital right out of high school. From there, by the third year, or by the second year, I was already addicted. I was doing 2 and 3 80s a day at work.
I actually started late. I started after high school. I wasn't allowed to party or anything in high school. So when I graduated, I did my party, scene, and a lot of my friends it started out with smoking weed and everything, and then I had met my boyfriend at the time, and then he introduced me to this whole new world of, pills, and we were doing painkillers and everything, and then...
I started experimenting after high school, started smoking marijuana, drinking. Next thing I knew, I was addicted to Percocets in a violent way. After that, turned to Subutex, was on that for almost 6 years, between 8 and 16 milligrams a day.
And when we couldn't get that anymore, then he introduced me to heroin, and I stayed with that.
What made me decide to seek treatment at St. Francis was, like when we work our steps, my life became completely unmanageable. I had been able to build a professional career despite being an addict for so long, and just ruined it, It's high all the time, wrecked my first brand new car, lost the job of a lifetime. I ran out of money. You don't have no money for drugs. You gotta make a decision, and my decision was to change my life. And
At what point did you realize that you felt like you had a problem?
When I lost my kids, CBS came in and took them. I couldn't keep my job. I had no money. I couldn't pay my bills. My family wasn't talking to me. I lost all my family. I had didn't have any friends. And being in here, they talk about when your life, becomes unmanageable. When you hit rock bottom, then it's time, to get your life back in order. I knew I had to stop.
And have you sought treatment before?
I've been to 7 treatment centers, 8 if you count the RSAT unit in prison.
And how many of those required you to go through detox in the treatment process?
Every place I went to has required me to go through detox.
So can you tell me what that, since you've got a lot of experience with detox, can you tell me what that was like?
It's hell on earth.
Now, prior to this, did you have any experience with withdrawal at all?
I have. I only made it to day 3, and then I went and, had to call my dealer and get stuff because I couldn't handle it. It's pure hell.
early on in the drug use, it was more about the desire to get high. But after you've been trapped in this vicious cycle for so long, it has a lot to do with withdrawal. I mean, we all know it's a total nightmare. It's a total nightmare. So you do anything to not have to go through it, anything.
The patients that suffer with opioid withdrawal, in all honesty, they look like they have the worst case of influenza that you might ever see. They're wrapped in a blanket, they've got hoodies on with their hoods up, they're withdrawn, they're in bed, sometimes in fetal positions.
I went through night sweats, restless leg syndrome. My legs were always shaking, couldn't eat, my throat was always dry, like really scratchy, like I couldn't even drink.
Your whole body just feels out of sort, like you want to come out of your own skin. Tremors, puking, diarrhea, everything, it's hell.
It's a total nightmare. My body, I have tremors, no sleep whatsoever. You sweat all the time. You got headaches. You just ache. You feel just like you want to jump out of your own skin. It's just this. It's tough to describe. It really is. It's a tough thing to describe, but it's brutal. It's brutal.
They're irritable, and it's really impossible to engage them in programming when they're that sick.
So how did you first hear about the Bridge device?
You all reached out to one of, I first heard about the Bridge device from Joe Deegan. You all reached out to him, and he brought it forward to us.
What did you hear that it was supposed to be able to do?
To pretty much, I heard it was supposed to eliminate symptoms of withdrawal.
And were you skeptical?
I was extremely skeptical.
Candace, when they told you what the device was going to do, were you skeptical at all?
A little bit, especially when it's going in your ear. I was skeptical about it. It's new. I was like.
Were you skeptical when they first told you to do it?
Like, I just can't do that. Then you gotta take some kind of medicine.
Of course, I was skeptical. Who wouldn't be? I was very skeptical. I thought, I was skeptical, 100%. But it didn't take long for my skepticism to disappear. Yeah.
So tell me a little about what the placement was actually like.
Placement, I could describe it like sort of the first time it's like bee stings, then went to like a sweat bee sting maybe, and then it was just a pulse. And after about an hour, you really didn't feel it unless you did the pinch test, and then you could feel it pulse a little bit, and then you're just right back used to it again.
It wasn't bad at all. It was like getting your finger pricked in your ear, and it wasn't 10, 15 minutes. I was visibly shaken when I was in the room, and 10, 15 minutes, I just felt like someone was just like rubbing my temples, kind of. It was like I found my pace. Like I could just, I don't know, it helped tremendously, instantly.
The placement of the device felt like when she put it on my ear, kind of like they pierced it, kind of like, to me it reminded me of getting my ears pierced in a way. And then, like it didn't hurt anything, it just felt like a pinch. And then you get used to it, just kind of like, you know, when you get your ears pierced, you know, you get used to the feeling.
Once they put the device on, what did you notice?
Instantly, like I felt better. Like, you know, at that time I was still having night sweats really bad. My stomach was still hurting. I couldn't keep anything down, and like my whole body just felt like relieved. Like everything just felt better once they put the device on.
How long was it before you started to feel any different?
I felt better instantly.
Can you kind of describe exactly what you felt like, what was going on?
It was just sort of like a wave almost, just calmness. And from there, all the symptoms just went away.
After I got the bridge device placed, I was participating in different things with my peers the same exact day. That evening, I felt like I was a new man.
The withdrawal symptoms went away altogether. Like I said, it took like less than 30 minutes, and I felt normal. Like I got up and went to the gym. I went to meetings. You know, I felt like I was a normal person. Like I hadn't even done a drug.
So what about comfort medications? Did you need any comfort
I
medication?
don't take anything.
Would you recommend others to try and seek treatment with the bridge device at St. Francis?
I would definitely recommend people to try the bridge for if they go to treatment, because you know a lot of people get scared, like, you know, going through withdrawals. Instead of going to a treatment center, they just go and get their drug because they don't want to go through that. You know, and it's also a fear of change. You know, I traveled 5 hours to get here, and I was nervous. You know, like new places, new people. I've never been to a treatment before, so I was skeptical about everything. And when I put that bridge on, you know, not having to deal with the withdrawals helped me stay here, because a lot of people the first week, you know, going through all the withdrawals and stuff, you know, they back out. You know, all they want to do is get high. And that helped me a lot. You know, it kept me through this 28-day program, and I was very thankful for that.
So would you recommend others try and seek treatment with the bridge device?
I would absolutely recommend people to seek treatment with the bridge device. Absolutely.
Would you recommend other people try this out?
Of course, I definitely recommend it. I mean, it's a miracle. It really is. It has to be.
Absolutely. When I got the bridge device placed, it did make me feel normal again. I haven't felt normal since I started all this. So yeah, it just
How long would that be?
years, 6, 7 years. You're never, no matter how high you are, or, you know, when you're in drug addiction, you never really relax. It's unheard of. You don't relax. You're always kind of just trapped, and I felt untrapped.
Thank you very much, Daniel. That was
Thanks.
fantastic, man.
Thanks. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank
That is
you.
fantastic. You did a
Love
great
every
job.
response. Thank you.
All right, is there anything else you can think of that you'd like to let anybody know about this?
If you get the chance to use it and you're sick, go to where they have it, for sure.
That's fantastic. Josh, I really appreciate it, man.
No problem.
All right, guys.